Chapter 5. Stubborn. On the beach that connected the land path from the island to the mysterious beyond, the air was thick. Ruby looked Tyrannosaurus Rex over with a keen gaze, folding her arms over her chest. He too was studying her, finding some strange sticks she carried with her, along with grass coverings and a mud face paint. She was far from the leaf-eaters he'd met in the mysterious beyond. So, you're the mate to the Alpha, huh? How did you earn such a position?
You don't remember anything, do you? The Carlar shared past, do you not?
All I know is you're food, and I'm growing hungry. Screech and Thud acted fast, trying to shield Ruby as Tyrannosaurus Rex lunged forward. Tossing the pair of fast biters aside with ease, he was focused on Ruby. Though he wasn't aware who he was about to attack, Ruby jumping to climb atop his open muzzle, showing no fear as she removed a long vine from her side. He tried to keep his eyes on her, but she was too fast, and in a matter of minutes he found himself restrained by several thick vines. Tied down, Ruby stood and aimed her spear at him.
If you ever try to attack me again, I'll do more than tie you down.
Feisty. I like that. The pair weren't kidding when they said that you were smart, but we'll see how smart you are when... Oh, what is that smell? Ruby smiled, drawing out a familiar fruit that made even Screech and Thud gag.
Oh, this? This is a fruit I brought back with me from the Great Valley. Its smell is so strong it makes Sharptooth sick.
Dangling it over his nose, his eyes welled with tears by how powerful the aroma was.
Now, let's try this greeting again, shall we? Become better acquainted might be wise.
Very well, just please remove that wretched thing from my nose. Holding their noses and standing back, Screech and Thud passed a quick glance.
Boy, Mrs. Boss really doesn't fool around, does she?
No, she really does know how to handle the boss. Once it was clear Tyrannosaurus Rex wouldn't harm Ruby, she drew her blade and cut him loose. He brushed the vines off and rose to his feet, looking down at her, as though it were he who should be afraid of her and not the other way around. He had underestimated her, realizing it was foolish, that perhaps there was more to her than he thought. I want to see my heir.
You mean Chomper's heir? Who are you?
My name is Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Alpha over the Sharptooth, and it is my duty to train the next Alpha.
How do you know Fang? You said you didn't recall anything of your past.
No, but my lackeys were very insightful and talkative when it came to you and the kids. I believe there are 2, and an egg on the way? Behind Ruby, Screech and Thud covered their heads. So, I will speak with them.
No, you are not as they remember. Thus, you won't see them, not like this.
Ruby placed the spear to keep him in place. You can't keep me from seeing them. They are mine!
Chomper and mine, not yours.
Ruby raised her spear towards his chin, taking him by surprise.
Now you keep out of sight and scent of them.
Feeling the sharp stone to his throat, Tyrannosaurus Rex knew he was bested, stepping back. I don't see it. You and I are nothing alike.
And thus, till you learn to see beyond that, you are not welcomed on the island.
Ruby spun her spear and headed back into the jungle.
Screech, Thud, make sure our guest leaves.
Screech and Thud held sad expressions, hoping the interaction would go differently. Thud gestured toward the land path. Well, you're free to go. Enjoy being single and the Alpha. Tyrannosaurus Rex glanced from them to the land path, turning and leaving without a single goodbye. When he was far enough away, Screech shook his head. Jerk! Leaving Mrs. Boss and the kids like that? What a deadbeat dad. Oh, well, at least we know Chomper is truly gone. Mrs. Boss took it better than I thought. No, she's hurting deeper than either of us can imagine, The one she loves is alive, yet not. I could think of no worse fate than to be forgotten by the one you love most in the world. She just can't show it. The pair turned away, heading off to do their patrol. With the island behind him, Tyrannosaurus Rex was halfway across the land path when he felt a twinge of anger. Not at anyone in particular, but at himself. His heir was on the island, the one who would lead, and it was his responsibility to protect and guide her. Yet how could he when he was fighting others in the mysterious beyond, while she was secluded on the island? He had to decide. Without delay, what was he going to do? Go into the mysterious beyond and continue killing, or train and protect the family he had? That night, Ruby tucked the kids in and was on guard, placing a thick board over the door to lock it. The night circle slowly set and the bright circle appeared in the sky. As Ruby woke, she went to fetch water for the family, opening the door and not seeing Tyrannosaurus Rex. As she took a step, she felt the ground under her move, leaping off to settle on solid ground once more.
Hey! Watch where you're stepping!
Tyrannosaurus Rex rose and rubbed his back.
What on earth are you doing out here? Did you sleep here the entire night? Was here where you lay?
Yes, if you must know. It's my job to keep my heirs safe, and since you are the second to the Alpha, you must be kept safe as well.
Lucky me.
Ruby brushed by him.
Right. Well, since you're here, when will Chomper be back?
Don't know. You may be stuck with me for years to come.
Perish the thought!
Here, let me help you with that. Tyrannosaurus Rex went to take it, Ruby keeping a tight grip on it.
I'm fine, thank you. I've managed this long without you. Without you for some time I've been.
You know, you can't be mad at me. You should be mad at Chomper. He's the one who abandoned you, not me. I'm here with you, aren't I? Ruby stopped. Yeah, that's right. I don't have to be here, yet here I am, because the wimp loved and chose you. Rushing forward, Ruby went in the house and shut the door, latching it once more. He only smirked and went to catch some food. Screech and Thud were there, the pair feasting upon a long fish they caught. Approaching them, he held an annoyed, yet curious expression.
You two! Hey, second boss, how's it going? Surprised to see you came back.
Perhaps that Chomper and I aren't so... What a joke, that fool and I are nothing alike.
So, why are you here? You have a chance to be free, to roam and live as you please. Why not take it?
Well, since I have a maiden heir, it would be wrong to search for another. And after all, having another child might cause trouble if I were to have a full Sharptooth child. Many dynasties have risen and fallen due to having multiple young, which was why the Alpha only ever chose one mate for life. Thus, I may not approve of whom Chomper selected, but what's done is done. The nest has been made, and therefore I must lie in it, figuratively, for I doubt I could ever call that food a mate. Yeah, well, till you can convince Mrs. Boss you're nice, which will take some miracle, she won't let you anywhere near her or the young. I thought you two were on my side, were my lackeys. It seems you've taken her side. Are you ill? No, but we've come to learn that prey are more than just food. The real Alpha and Mrs. Boss have taught us to see beyond what we believe to be truth, to find a deeper meaning and understanding in the circle of life. Oh, don't tell me you believe in that circle nonsense.
Well, you better, buddy, 'cause if yous don't, you're gonna find yourself alone.
Screech let out a snort before turning to leave.
Come on, babe. I think Mr. High and Mighty needs some time to mold over his options.
Fine, be that way. I don't need either of you useless fools.
Yeah, well, we don't need you either.
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Idiots!
Both of them! Alone, Tyrannosaurus Rex knew trying to gain the fast runner's trust wasn't going to be easy or happen overnight. But he'd be persistent, wouldn't give up till he saw his young. Though it seemed any of his attempts were stopped, for she was smart and planned ahead of him, returning to the nest. More of the wretched fruit surrounded it, creating a barrier to prevent him from entering. Not to mention Screech and Thud stood guard, both holding icy stares as he paced back and forth. They stood inside the great circle, not affected by the horde's scent. Day after day, Tyrannosaurus Rex tried to check in on the family, Ruby sending him away herself.
I told you to leave until you can convince me you're Chomper.
Well, I'm not taking no for an answer. He paused when he heard a whooshing and felt a sting to his foot. Glancing down, an arrow projected from it. You shot me!
Go, or I'll shoot you again.
She drew her bow and arrow, Tyrannosaurus Rex turning and running to dodge the second arrow that flew his way. Though after drawing the rock out, he learned his lesson and that she wouldn't cave easily. Licking the wound, he sighed and knew he was getting nowhere. While he hated to admit defeat, especially losing to food, he had no choice. He needed help, advice, needed someone's help. Shutting his eyes, he focused, tried to remember a life before he took over, wanting to recall Chomper's memories. Unfortunately, Chomper wasn't in the mood or available to share his memories. Thus, Tyrannosaurus Rex would have to do what he hated most.